An update. So this prelude to the trade war series update, it's a lot. I'm already 12 pages in, almost 6,000 words, and I'm not even into the 1300s yet. This is taking me a while. How do I word this? In all honesty, it's just like, oh god, it's just a lot. There's really not much history in 𝚃𝚌𝚎. There never really was, so it's a lot of fucking trying to like keep things in mind and trying to look at everyone else's history, and just it's just a whole thing. The ball in 𝚃𝚌𝚎 might have been dropped a little bit, you know, when it comes to the history of everything. I don't know, so I'm just trying to make everything up, trying to figure things out, trying to work on this stuff. Right now I'm in the 1200s going into the 1300s, and how I'm doing this is like my other ones. I'm not focusing on the small historical stuff, like what regional governors were elected, or you know, like what cities were founded, and then you know the growth of it. Like to me, that's just so much information that I don't have, that I can't be bothered with. So I'm going with big ass events: founding, this person's death, 𝚃𝚌𝚎 and 𝚿𝚛𝚎𝚎, Rhodesis and Cicero, you know, fucking I don't know, Marquethos, 808 years war, and just shit like that. Like, that's it. I mean, that's all I can do. It's only like 10 events really that I know about, that I know have happened, but I don't even know, like, I don't even know what the War of Eights is. The War of Eights happened. I've moved the date around twice. It was originally 850 to 1132. I was like, no, that can't fucking work. I moved it way up to the 1400s after the invention of gunpowder, which I put to the 1400s. And then I'm like, no, that can't work either. I slid it back to 1221 to 1307, and I'm just trying to like, okay, well that's there, and we'll just say what this fucking is, and how did it affect the people in 𝚃𝚌𝚎. And then we're gonna go into the Valen campaign, the first one, and I don't know why they were even there. I have no clue. Like, what were they doing there? I don't know. It doesn't make much fucking sense. So then after that, I have to go into like a bunch of other goddamn stuff. But I've done a lot of work. A lot of work. Thousands and thousands of words have been figured through here. I basically shaped 𝚃𝚌𝚎 around the consciousness of mankind only through the eyes of its major players. Because I'm like, there's history. Okay. I said this to Jacob. I was like, you know, it's cute and it's really cool to be able to say like, oh yeah, these cities were founded in this time, and this happened there, and blah blah blah. It's like, there's no fucking, like, who cares about the little details? Who gives a fuck? It doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, does any of that affect Eris? Does it affect Eris when Centrum was established? Not at all. It doesn't fucking matter. I don't even know what Centrum is. I know it's a city, but that's all I know about it. It's just some big ass city. I think it's their capital. It's probably the biggest metropolitan in the entire world or something. That's how it's drawn on the maps. It's massive. But does that affect Eris? Absolutely not. Not even the slightest. And that's just kind of how I'm treating it, just because it's, you know, I wanted to keep the progress going with the Trade War series, but as I'm looking, I mean, not only am I feeling kind of unhappy with the series as a whole, sadly, just because it's so little information. This is fucking hard. You know, it really is. I mean, when you're playing with a bunch of different nations and they're all having timeline together, and then you're trying to keep in mind, oh fuck, that they did that in this era, so like what the fuck? And you know, we mentioned like, well, Landia settled in the 1300s. Like, why did 𝚃𝚌𝚎 just kind of like, eh? So the national identity of 𝚃𝚌𝚎 has always been these aggressors, these people that were like, they would fight, and they're a warlike people, but they don't have, there's not really, in their history, there is no war. They've not had one war yet. That's weird, because I'm like, who would they be fighting? Aboriginals on the land. Like, you know, that's what I'm imagining, is the only fighting they did was just killing all the Native Americans as they expanded. You know, and it echoes in American history, but it's like, okay, 1300s, that makes sense to say, like, okay, you've been around for, you know, 1,300 years. Now you're starting to think of wars going out. From that point, you're already trading, apparently, with people over in Anura Minor. So it's like, okay, you're already doing that. I'm assuming you're trading with people in the South, I guess. You're just kind of chill about like that whole like colony thing. That's never been mentioned. So it's like, what I'm gonna do is from the 1300s, I'm gonna just say, you know, when they entered the South, that's because like when Britain was like, okay, motherfuckers, like you're not your own thing. That's what we'll do. We'll echo like American history, which, let's be honest, and this is the weird part as an American, I have very little knowledge about American history. I know more about like other countries' histories than I do America. American history to me is not really that interesting. So that's hard. But I'll try. But I wanted to give an update to say like, okay, you know, I feel bad that I haven't, like, I think it's 2 weeks past my date that I wanted to get this fucking like video done. I am not even into the PowerPoint part yet. So it's gonna be hard. So I'm gonna try to make other little videos. I mean, no one's watching these, but I'm gonna try. I really am to make the videos for the country. It's just, it's, you know, it's a lot. I just feel alone in this, so I'm trying to do the best I fucking can with everything that I have. And then, you know, this stuff here, interestingly, is other people's work that I'm trying to shape and stuff, and just like trying to make sense of, because I don't have a clue. You know, I might as well be like doing real life history that was lost for thousands of years, and I'm deciphering it. That's what it feels that way. Like I don't understand why this logic does not apply. Now, I don't know, man. I'll keep it like that. I'm just kidding. I don't know. It's tough. This is so fucking tedious. And you know what? I feel so stupid. I feel so fucking stupid. Because I was working with Jacob yesterday, and we didn't really do much at all in, what, 4 to 6 hours of working. Not even straight working, let's be honest. Probably like 3 of those hours were actual work. I feel dumber. You know, I really do. I just feel like, man, I don't know anything. This is hard, and I suck. I fucking hate this. You know, that's what I always feel like when I get to these junctures, you know. Like when I look at what Jacob does. As a non-writer, as he says, he's got a very, you know, his mind is intellectual in a way where I feel like he kind of is a writer. Because the way he looks at stuff, the setup, the payoff, you know, just if you're talking about this, you gotta do that. Like, I don't know how he spots that, because my mind doesn't work like that at all. You know what I mean? Like, well, if I'm talking about it, then I have to blah, 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 and this has to do something with that. Like, when I work with him, I always end up feeling dumber. Like, God, I don't know. I feel stupid. It's like, fuck, this is like hard. I have to set up events, and like the reason I'm talking about them is for there's points to all this shit. Like, it's just not how my mind works. It's really difficult. And so I come out of that feeling so fucking retarded. I'm just like, God, I wish I was intelligent, man. Sitting here trying to study history, and then it's like, apparently I do it wrong. Because when I read history, I'm just taking their word for it. I'm not like deducing like, oh, well, you know, keep this in mind, and we have to prove that this did truly happen by studying. Like, I don't fucking, it's so much. Oh, this is so much. It gives me a fucking headache to think about all this stuff. And because essentially that's what I'm doing here, is I'm creating a history, but I don't really see the merit in like, well, like let's talk about the archaeology of it. Let's talk about the movements of people. Let's talk about cultural identity and shit. I'm like, you know, that's out of like, I don't give a fuck about that stuff. When I think about history, I don't, you know, I don't know. I feel like I'm lost right now. I feel like I'm lost without a map, and I'm fucking becoming dumber every time I take another step. It's just like, what the fuck am I doing? You know, like what is happening with all this? I don't know. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. And I just, you know, I'm so disappointed at the outcome of everything. It's not good enough. Disappointed. Oh, geez. But, you know, I'm trying. I'm trying every day to get a little bit better. But at the end of the day, man, I just feel like I don't have the IQ for this kind of stuff. It just feels like I'm a stupid person. Trying to act like they're smart, but I'm never gonna be. Is what it feels like. You know. But anyway, that was an update. Short little update of like where we're at right now. I'm continuing to work on it. I know I should like make videos and stuff. I don't fucking know what to talk about. I'm just like so invested in this, and you know, I would have a few, like what, a week I'd have 3 to 4 videos. And it's just like I talked about before, like I can't just keep like going on there and like having the inner thoughts series of me rambling on about stupid fucking shit incoherently. That nobody wants to see that, you know. So it's hard. It's just really hard to like, what the fuck do I talk about? Well, you know, I have no idea. I haven't a clue. You know, I feel like I've talked about everything before. You know, with the descendants, I talked about that. Talked about, you know, oh God, you know, the basis of the countries, and I went into how time works, and I went into all the lore. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.